So many times for Black women, we are trying to create an environment where we are palatable, where we are able to be accepted, where we have to then tamper down who we are in our fullness. Hi, welcome back to The Shelf Speaks, where we practice literary divination. We allow the books on our bookshelf to lead the way for us for the next week. I'm your host, Krishana Davis, so let's get right into it. This week, I'm pulling from one of my favorite books, which is called All of the Black Girls Are Activists. It is by EbonyJanice. It is about a fourth wave of womenist pursuits of dreams and radical resistance. And this week, I am pulling from her section on In Pursuit of Loudness. EbonyJanice says, the reality is that Black girlhood on its highest decibel, no matter how loud or how muted it is, will always still be on the outside of mainstream's acceptable way of being. This places Black girlhood in contrast to the highest concept of girlhood in general. This resonates with me so much because so many times for Black women, we are trying to create an environment where we are palatable, where we are able to be accepted, where we have to then tamper down who we are in our fullness. And EbonyJanice is really telling us that no matter how palatable we make ourselves, we're never going to be able to fit into and within that limited conception of what womanhood and Black girlhood is. She goes on to say, respectability politics are defined as a set of beliefs holding that conformity is prescribed mainstream standards of appearance and behavior will protect a person who is a part of a marginalized group, especially a Black person, from prejudice and systemic injustices. The politics of respectability is a form of moralistic discourse used by certain people, usually elders, public and prominent figures, leaders, and scholars, who are members of various marginalized groups, asserting that to look, act, behave, dress, and present a certain way is to ensure safety inside of an anti-Black capitalistic society. But the reality is there truly safety for us in this society? And there's this other reality where our silence, our palatability doesn't protect us. For example, we've seen Black women experience the pet to threat realities in workplaces where you are there, you are seen as the best, the brightest, the smartest, and eventually seen as a threat. We've seen then the 600,000 Black women who have been laid off more recently. And so I wonder, what does it mean to be palatable in that space when Black women are constantly being catcalled? We're constantly being degraded. We're constantly being shunned and shown as other. And so she just, I think, really is calling for, in some ways, us to live on that highest decibel, that highest version, our highest version of self for girlhood. Because if we don't, we're going to be shunned and shut down. To experience any form of freedom is to be who we are out loud. This is not a little self-help pamphlet, but this is something very powerful in the language of actually being yourself, particularly as it pertains to the ways that misogynoir targets Black girlhood and Black womanhood as aggressive, loud, much, and wrong just for showing up as ourselves. That is to say, I know how I am viewed in a certain way before I even walk into the room, but I'm going to walk in as myself. I'm going to show up as my worthy self because my worthy self is the place where God gets to shine through me as me. The freedom to be loud is revolutionary. Loudness is a worthy contribution of our liberation struggles because if there's one thing a free Black girl is going to be, is too much. And we stand too much Black girl because a too much Black girl is in today light years ahead of the appropriated, acceptable white version of her becoming to a raggedy little runway near you in about 25 years. So that's that on that.